What's your advice on networking?
Well, we all have networks, first off. It's recognize that you've got it and think about all the people that you've worked with over the years, both professionally and personally, and say to yourself, well, they're part of my network. What can they do or how can I work with them to go forward? Everybody has a network, no question about it. So if you've got a network with journalists, if you've got a network with people in the financial community, if you've got a network in your church, if you've got a network with just your friends and people in the area, understand what is important to them. A very important thing to do in developing the network is identify individual people that you want to network with. And now take advantage of Google and Google that person up. Almost everybody and their profile is on Google these days. So find out where they went to school, what their inclination is, how they're operating. And then when you're talking to them, use examples that they will relate to. A warm example of where they went to school, a warm example of somebody they've worked with and have tried to influence, a warm example of the audience they're trying to get to. Those are all very important. And if you're smart, and everybody who's listening to this program is, just use Google and figure this out. You'll get all kinds of information that you can use.
Okay. All right, Robert, I agree with you, but I'm going to take a contrary point of view for a moment because I can imagine people are saying, but it's the logic of my idea that really matters, not how warm people feel to me. So, what's your response to that?
I would say that if your idea is good and people can relate to it, great. If your idea is good and nobody relates to it, not so good. And I think if you're in a position where you advance an idea and you look at the audience and all you get are blank stares, people scratching their head, people wanting to go to the next session, that's not a positive thing.
Right.
Figure out how to involve them, get them to enjoy the process that you created for them. Talk to them about their wants and needs. If you're dealing with an audience, uh, don't hesitate to reach into the audience if you know somebody and say, "How about you, gentlemen? What are your interests? How do they relate to what we're talking about?" And get that person then to indicate to the audience, to the larger audience, how they feel about things. So by doing that, you'll get a lot of people supporting you and supporting you in a positive way.